What's good, everybody? Shakur Stevenson and Frank Martin agree to terms on the money. Now, the only thing they have to do now is find a date. Two warriors in the lightweight division is about to go down. It's about to go down. William Zepeda, Pitbull Cruz, they could have fought Shakur Stevenson next instead of Frank Martin, but they turned down the fight. WBC kept going down the list, and Frank Martin obliged. Frank's been putting in some good work his past couple fights. He's fought some undefeated, tough opponents. Michelle Rivera and Artem. I can't pronounce Artem's last name, so I'm just calling him Artem. And a lot of people feel like Shakur Stevenson is going to blow through Frank Martin, but I feel like Frank will put up some resistance. I'm not picking against Shakur Stevenson at this point in time. You know what I mean? The kid's too good. But Frank Martin's good too. A lot of people feel like he's going to blow him out because he struggled with Artem. But I feel like Artem was just a good fighter. You know what I mean? That fight was getting built up as 50-50 before it happened. So I wouldn't take too much away from Frank. But Shakur Stevenson, he's a beast, man. Shakur Stevenson been calling out the whole lightweight division. Devin Haney dropped the WBC belt. And first he was ordered to fight Lomachenko, but Lomachenko turned the fight down, which I seen coming a mile away. I think Shakur kind of messed his chances up from getting some of these fights by sparring guys. You know what I mean? Because I remember he sparred Lomachenko, and if you look at the picture after they were done, like Lomachenko looked drained. Lomachenko looked like he was happy that sparring session was over, and Shakur Stevenson, he was cheesing from ear to ear. Like he just, threw down on Lomachenko. You could tell by that picture that Lomachenko wouldn't never want to get in there with Shakur Stevenson anyway. So he blew his chances of getting that fight by sparring him. But Frank Martin, he's been calling out Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson, after his fights, his last, 3-4 fights. And now the opportunity has come, and he did not turn it down. So special shout out to Frank Martin for taking this fight. You know what I mean? I think this fight will be competitive. I think it will. But like I say, I can't pick against Stevenson right now. He's too sharp. Way too sharp, defensively sound. Like his defensive numbers, as far as getting hit, is like Floyd level. So it's hard to pick against somebody like that. But since he's been to 135, he's been big fight hunting. And I think this is kind of a big fight. You know what I mean? I think this is kind of big fight. I think they'll sell good. I don't know where. I heard that they might fight in Atlanta at first, but now I think it might be in Las Vegas. Because Shakur Stevenson, he fought Jamel Herring in Atlanta. And I was there, and that fight kind of sold well. I seen a lot of people in the crowd. It wasn't a lot of empty seats. So that's smart for Shakur Stevenson to try to build his name up in a place like Atlanta. He could turn, I heard Tank fought in Atlanta once or twice. They could turn Atlanta into a fight town. I think Shakur Stevenson's skills will make him a superstar one day, a pay-per-view star, just off the skills. Plus, he got a good talk game. He's been running down on folks. showing up to fights. He's been tweeting a lot. I think his trash talk level is up there as well. So he's got a real great chance to become a pay-per-view star. In fights like with Frank Martin, that's how you get there. Frank is a tough opponent. Frank is a tough opponent. Shakur Stevenson didn't duck. People was calling him a duck because he said that he was going to activate his mandatory against Devin Haney, and it took him a while to do it. But once he got tired of the noise, he went and activated that, and that's why the belt got dropped. So now he got him a nice dance partner with Frank Martin. Frank Martin, he can learn from this fight as well. People are talking about Frank won't be the same after this fight. I don't think Shakur is going to stop him. I think that he'll outpoint him. Frank got heart. At the same time, I haven't seen Frank get hit like flush with like a super power shot. But Shakur Stevenson, he's an accurate puncher as well. He don't miss a lot of punches. He picks his punches well. So, I mean, anything could happen in the ring. But I think that Shakur, he'll beat him in a decision. Now, David Benavides and Demetrius Andrade, the hype's been there for about a month now, saying that they're going to fight. But I think I'm not for sure. This is a rumor. I think Andrade signed his part. I think they're waiting on David Benavides right now. David Benavides, he's been looking for a fight since defeating Caleb Plant. People was expecting him to get the Canelo fight as Canelo signed for a 3-fight PBC deal. And his first fight is going to be against Jermell Charlo. And he's rumored to be fighting Terrence Crawford. If he does all that, I mean, David Benavides, he might as well just move on. He might as well just move on if Canelo going to do all that. If he going to fight those two guys, I doubt he'll go from Crawford to Benavides right after. Benavides, he was originally supposed to fight David Morrell, but he turned it down. He went looking for Jaime Munguia. Munguia's side turned that down. And now he's at Demetrius Andrade. And Demetrius Andrade, he turned down a fight with Jermell Charlo early in his career, but at this point, with him being about 35 years old, he cannot afford to turn down a fight like David Benavides. You know what I mean? So I kind of do believe that he got his part signed. Demetrius Andrade, he's been posting videos of him working out. He's been doing interviews, talking about David Benavides and all that, but I don't see Benavides nowhere. I seen his dad on the Boxing Voice talking like it might get done, but to be honest, I feel like those two need to fight each other, because if not, somebody gonna have to fight David Morrell. Somebody gonna have to fight David Morrell. And if those guys don't want to fight David Morrell, I suggest them to fight each other right now. You know what I mean? Because David Morrell is the WBA regular champion with only 10 fights. And he looks super dangerous. David Morrell is really skilled. And the money the money fighting David Morrell probably wouldn't be as much as them fighting each other. So they need to figure something out. That these two fights, if they both happen, that'll make the year complete. 2023 has been a very great year of boxing. We've been getting most of the fights that we want. You know, Tank Ryan, Spence Crawford. You know, we had a lot of fights this year, good fights. Tank T.O. You know, you can go on and on. Plant Benavides. 2023 been lit, man. But with these two fights at the end of the year, yeah, that'll make it all right there. Because Shakur Stevenson been begging these contenders to get in the ring with him. He couldn't find nobody. But now he has Frank Martin willing to step up to the plate for this WBC title. And if Devin Haney wants to come back down to reclaim that belt, he would have to see the winner of that fight. You know, and the winner of Shakur and Frank, they do deserve a title shot. I feel like if Devin Haney is not going to come back to 135, he might need to let those belts go. Because in his fight with Regis Prograis is not even finalized yet. What's going on with Devin Haney? Like I heard about the Haney-Regis fight. I heard Regis signed his part to fight Devin Haney. Devin Haney hasn't signed yet. That's crazy. I heard Devin Haney complaining about the date. They want to fight on the same day as Fury and Ngannou. And Devin Haney didn't like that. But me personally, I don't think that Fury and Ngannou should make you not want to fight. You know what I mean? I don't think Devin Haney and Regis, they going to do the numbers they going to do regardless. Even if it is pay-per-view, I think that they could probably outsell Fury and Ngannou in America. I mean, of course, the UK is going to buy it up for Fury. And Ngannou, his home, I don't know if they even sell pay-per-views where he's from. I think he's from Ghana or somewhere. So the pay-per-view number, he shouldn't worry about that. Plus, DAZN don't even release pay-per-view numbers. Even if y'all did flop, wouldn't nobody know about it. Wouldn't nobody know about it. So I think Devin Haney should just sign for October 28th. I don't know what's going to happen if this fight with Regis Prograis fall through. Will he have to come back down and fight the winner of this? Because he was ordered to fight Regis Prograis or Shakur Stevenson by the WBC. So if he's trying to fight Regis, but if that don't happen, what's going to happen? Is they going to mandate him to fight one of these two? I'm not really sure about that. But yeah, it's a lot going on. It's some good potential fights. Those three potential fights for the end of the year. But I think we for sure getting Shakur and Frank because they agreed to their money. They just got to find a date. You know, it's September 7th. I don't think they probably won't be able to get it in before Halloween. So they probably going to fight like around Thanksgiving. They say Spence and Crawford rematch is December 9th or the December 30th. You don't want to be too close to that because I don't know if Shakur and Frank gonna be pay-per-view. It might not. It depends on who wins the purse bid. No, they don't. They're not going to purse bid because they agreed to the money. I don't know what network is going to get this fight. ESPN or Showtime. But I think those two will fight. But these other two fights, we need that too. We need Benavides, Andrade, and we need Devin Haney, Regis. And Benavides, I kind of feel bad for the man. The man, he's been putting in work in these WBC rankings, and no Canelo fight is coming from it. No Canelo fight has been coming from it. But he got to fight somebody because he fought on pay-per-view with Plant. You got to make a step forward. Can't take a step back. Especially after David Morrell did all that, calling you out your name, calling you out. David Morrell been calling him out for like over a year. Like, it'll be real disappointing if David Benavides don't fight Morrell or Andrade and come back and fight somebody we don't know. And I've been behind David Benavides as the boogeyman for a while now. So if he were to take a lower level fight instead of those two guys, man, he's going to look really bad. I already thought he looked it bad for trying to fight Jaime Munguia. But we got to see what happens next, man. We in for a really nice end of the year to boxing to cap off one of the greatest years in a long time.